This is Dr. Benzinger on Health with SecondOpinion.org. Welcome to the program. If you've not joined us at SecondOpinion.org in the past, please do. You can register for a free newsletter that lets you know all the topic matter that's coming out on a weekly basis. Multiple videos, audios, as well as written words that give you a wide variety of information to try to help you and empower you to control your own future, your own life, and your own health. Physicians Premium is our carrier line of nutritional products as well as other types of things that we think are important for your wellness. Please join us there and see what you think and see if they fit your needs. Today's coverage is on cancer. Is it a preventable disease? It's interesting, if we just take you and move you to multiple other countries in the world, it's a preventable disease. Let's take you to New Zealand and your chances of cancer drop drastically. Take you to Australia, your chances of cancer drop drastically. Now, why would that be the case? Move to the United States from Japan and your chances of cancer skyrocket in comparison to living in Japan. Is it a preventable disease? Is the answer to move? Possibly. Most of us don't want to do that. The issue is, maybe we should find out what really might be going on with cancer and stop worrying about trying to respond to it, because have you watched people that go through the treatment from cancer? And if they do live through it, do you see the quality of their life or the amount of times it reoccurs or other conditions that occur because of it? The point of it is, there's one way to treat cancer. Don't get it. Any way we can, don't get it. And to wait until it does and think that we've got miracle cures. Any oncologist will sit down with you and say, hey, if you can stop yourself from getting cancer, do everything you can to do so, because once you do get it, it's very difficult to treat and can cost you your life. And the quality of life that changes in your family and the life of the people that you love and care for is so drastic. Not only do you need to do this for yourself, but you do it for the ones that you love. And there's always, often, somebody in the family who smokes, who drinks, who does everything wrong and thinks that everybody else should put up with them just because they don't want to take care of themselves. Let me tell you, I'm telling you, if you're sitting next to the couch with somebody like that, give them a good elbow. Just give them a good punch in the arm or something and say, look, you know, it isn't just you that decides to eat bad, not take his vitamins, not exercise, not do this. And I shouldn't have said he, I should have said any one of you, men or women, because it's both sides. I've got it on both ends. The point of it is, cancer is preventable in many cases if you move. So the question I have for you is, will you choose to control your future, or will you be controlled by the disease? The disease in this case is cancer. Talk about cancer types. It's a group of diseases. There's over 100 types. So I'm going to give you some of the basics. So if nothing else, you'll be able to come to our site, look at all kinds of information on vitamins and minerals and all kinds of disease processes. My job is, I think, to educate you as to the basics. Am I an oncologist that's an expert in cancer? The answer is absolutely not. Can I give you some general ideas about the thing that's probably put together in a manner that's more logic-based and just easier for you to understand, to get a grip of what cancer is a little bit more about, and more about what you can do about it instead of worrying about what you have to do about once you get it? That's what I do. So here it is. There's over 100 types. 85% are epithelial cells called carcinomas, okay? And 15% are mesodermal, which are muscle, bone, called sarcomas, glandular, breast, are called adenosarcomas. So 85% are epithelial. Guess what that is? Lungs, skin, sinuses, GI tract, the aligning of the GI tract. Epithelial cells, things that cover those things that are exposed to the outside world one way or another. Okay? So what you always remember is, I always try to keep in mind that every person I see is very unique. They're different inside. They're as different inside as they are outside. But in some ways, we're very much alike. When you look at this picture, you'll see the gene and the environment. 5% of genes are predisposed to cancer, let's say. 95% of our genes are not predisposed, or of us, let's say. See, the whole thing that you need to realize is this. If a gene is a cancer gene, it will express itself from the time you're born. Something has to turn this thing on and off. Don't get confused that the idea is 50% of us are gene predisposed and you're going to get cancer, there's nothing you can do, because that is a lie. Unfortunately, the media makes you almost think that you don't have any control over these things, and that, again, is a lie. 5% of the time people are born with a gene active and moving, and that's the children that end up with cancer. The rest of us have recessive genes that are activated by some chemical process or situation that makes it into an active cancer gene that predisposes us to cancer. So, does that sound like something you could control? Yes. In fact, if you see here, genes and environment, environment's you, the genes are what you were born with, and most of the time we were born with fine genes. I always wonder, well, why does mom get it and grandma got it and now I've got it, or I think I'm going to get it? Well, maybe it's because all of them had hysterectomies. All of them were on synthetic hormones. And you're on synthetic hormones and have been on the pill since you're 15 years old. Maybe you've been doing the exact same thing that gave them a certain type of cancer, and that is the issue. More than anything else, you probably find that these habits, the environment changes, the environment that you keep reproducing in certain family units, doing the same thing, eating the same thing, living the same place, exposure to the same things, handling stress the same poor way, might be the big issue that moves you towards that gene, that environment that matches together to something that's called a phenotype. Phenotype is that predisposition to cancer. You can control the environment. You just can't control the gene. You can influence it though. If you look at the health continuum sheet here, you'll see the genotype's way over here. Relatively healthy. It's biochemical changes in the middle, in that yellow little dot there, that leads us to pathology and death and cancer. If we can keep the genotype over here and control our biochemical end, those things that predispose you, eating fruits, vegetables, things like that, comparison to chips, fast food, cokes, sodas, alcohol, etc., those move us towards death. We already know that. Question is, why do you keep doing it? Emotional, spiritual stresses will promote a lower immunity and scientifically are supported to predispose you to other autoimmune-based diseases. And is cancer an autoimmune-based disease? The answer is yes. So with the influences of cancer are your environment, your reproductive life, your diet, smoking, and special risk factors for cancer tendencies that we're going to try to cover in short order. Okay, when we look at environment, poor quality air and water quality, we already know predisposes you. If you not have the right kind of filters in your house for air and water, get busy on it. Save the money. It's life-changing. The amount of cost that you would go through if somebody has cancer is inordinate in comparison to getting good filtering system, reverse osmosis, and HEPA filters in your home. Chemical exposure such as pesticides, herbicides, don't use that stuff in your house. Look towards conservative approaches. Look at our chemical seminar. You'll find lots of options there. There's lots of options. Look, and we're going to try to orchestrate that for you at secondopinion.org so you can come up with a 5-step plan of turning around your home. MSG, monosodium glutamate, synthetic fillers, plastics, petroleum products such as candles that you're burning in the air and predisposing you to things, because petroleum products that make candles is burning oil in your house. Is that healthy? Absolutely not. Dyes, synthetic perfumes, which are almost all the perfumes. Makeup, harmful to some women. Chronic sun worshippers. Okay, that's another issue. Environmental controls, control your water and your air purity with cleansing units. Detoxification programs for your own human body is a great thing. There's quite a few authors out there that have written great books on that area. Control what goes in your mouth and in your body, and you will make a big difference in what happens inside that body. Eliminate hormone disruptors. Our hormone seminar covers this in depth, something that you might want to pick up and actually download, look at, and try to make a difference. And at least you'll know what you need to do to change these hormone disruptors that could be affecting your health. Because we know certain types of synthetic hormones, specifically certain estrogens and other things, actually does predispose us to heart disease and potentially cancer too. Sun exposure control and stress controls. Those are environmental things you need to get under control. Reproductive life. Use only one bioidentical hormone replacement when you have to. Try all the alternatives first before you go to synthetic hormones. That's one thing you can do in reproductive life. Keep your child's weight controlled and away from junk food. Load them up on fruits and vegetables and minerals. You're going to help their reproductive life and their chances of cancer. Reason why is the more obese a young girl gets, the sooner she gets her period and the more likely she is to get cancer, by the way. Stay away from the pill unless you have to have it, and have at least one child. Those women who do not have any children have a higher incidence of certain cancers. And stay away from sexual promiscuity. If you lessen your partners, the amount that you have in your lifetime, you greatly reduce the amount of cancer risk that you put yourself to. Diet plays a huge role. The more basic and nutritionally sound the diet is, it lessens the likelihood of cancer. If you've not picked up at secondopinion.org, The Secrets of Vital Health. The Secrets of Vital Health will explain what really is going on in our diet today, and it's free of charge, and you can watch it right there on site, and I think that will make a big difference. Invite friends and family to watch it. In my estimation, is life-saving. Dietary constituents such as multiple vitamins, polyphenols, vitamin C, vitamin D, carotenoids, and alliums are all helpful to reduce the risk of cancer. Any nutritional deficiency over time may predispose you to cancer. Minimal animal meat, minimize it, okay? Buy more organically grown. Stay away from chemically exposed animals. And include fish, but not too often. Make sure it's grown in the Great Lakes, not in farm-raised fish, because they're fed the same thing that the animals, cows and pigs are fed, grains, by the way. So the fish itself doesn't have near as much nutrition when it's farm-raised. So keep that in mind. Homeopathics and herbals are out there that can actually help you enhance your health. And nutritional support for prevention, here's some of the things that we know seems to work. Vitamin C, vitamin E, selenium's shown some great things. And vitamin D, all kinds of research is coming into its advantages for helping you fend off cancer. Vitamin A, beta carotene, B complex, specifically folic acid, phenolics, flavonoids, again, and phytonutrients. All these things are covered on our site, so try to tune them in. You'll find more and more information on this so you can make good choices. Good level of minerals and advanced detoxification products such as glutathione and N-acetylcysteine, great for your liver and detoxification. Lots of fruits, lots of vegetables. And allium is garlic and onions, very healthy for you. Fish oils and maitake mushrooms seems to really help elevate your immune system and help you fight off things. So detoxification of the system, liver detoxification programs, kidneys, lots of water, little alcohol, little caffeine. Lungs, exercise, 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 keep them healthy. And the skin, exercise, watch the topicals you put in, and make sure that you continue to get yourself sweating multiple times in a day. Smoking, don't do it. More you do, here's the exception to the rule, George Burns syndrome. You know why I say it's George Burns syndrome? It's, this guy got away with it. He's the unique oddity of society. And all too often we go, I don't have to get, George Burns got away with it. Well, while you're trying to get away with it, we know statistically it's way against you to get away with it and continue to smoke. So why do some people live a healthy life and die young, while others live as long as George did? Okay, live to be 100. By the way, when my doctors advised me to stop smoking, I always ignored them. Anyhow, it really doesn't matter. They're all dead, George Burns says. So the point of it is George Burns got away with it. Large majority. If you're a male and you play the statistics on football, baseball, your job, smoking, your statistics are so far against you and having cancer that it's foolishness. So keep it in mind. Genes don't cause disease. You have to realize genes have functions, and genes may predispose us to disease, but genes are not our fate. Environment and genes together cause that phenotype which predisposes us to these mutations to produce cancer. So if I can paint a picture for you, it's this. You got these genes and you have a 95% chance that you were given good genes. Not only 5% chance that it's not 50%. And it's what you do with that, what you put in, how you influence this human body that's going to predispose you to a phenotype that's cancerous or not cancerous. Keep that in mind. The 6 hallmarkers of cancer, I'm going to run through them quickly. In other words, these are the 6 things that docs usually look at that will let us know what type or what has predisposed you to certain levels or certain types of cancer. Number 1, growth signal autonomy. Number 2, evasion of growth inhibitory signals. Number 3, evasion of apoptosis. In other words, the body will actually kill its own cell to make sure it doesn't become a cancer cell. Unlimited reproductive potential, meaning that cancer cells just keep growing when they normally should stop. Angiogenesis, formation of new blood vessels. That's one of the major pushes they're doing medication-wise to stop extra blood going into an area so that the thing starves to death. An invasion of metastases, which is where they travel through the body. So what do we know? People taking statin drugs to reduce heart disease seem to increase their cancer risk. Did you know that? Okay, statistics are showing that. People eating poor diets have a higher cancer rate. Genetics play a small direct role and a large secondary role in you getting cancer, and smoking increases it. So what do we know? Excessive alcohol increases cancer. Chemical exposure may raise your risk and increase your cancer. Stress and pain increases cancer. And other diseases, diabetes, arthritis, multiple medication uses for years, poor dietary habits predispose you to cancer. It's the number 2 killer, heart's number 1. Why take the risk? What else do we know? Synthetic hormones increase cancer risk. Burnt beef. You know, that crusty, dark outside that's burnt, for whatever reason, has a predisposing cancer factor. Peanuts. Aflatoxin B is found in peanuts. Peanuts may be something you want to stay away from because you never know which one might have a little aflatoxin B that slides through that predisposes you to cancer. It's one of the things I recommend that people kind of stay away from. Almonds, cashews, all the others, peanuts, stay away from. Immune systems. Negatively affected by a bad diet, lack of water, excessive caffeine, alcohol. To sound familiar? Does this sound familiar? Smoking, excessive medications, or chronic use. Stress itself, physical, mental, or spiritual, can induce major issues that sacrifice your well-being. Lack of proper nutritional support. Poor diets over a long period of time, and then you don't supply any of the healthy nutrients you need. High likelihood you're in trouble. If you've not seen Secrets of Vital Health, I implore you to get that video, look it through. It's free of charge at Physicians Premium, and I think you'll find that will help you. Environmental chemical bombardment lowers your immune system. Adrenaline junkies, those people caffeinate themselves to death. Been at Starbucks 47 times today. It's just not healthy, folks. It's not because 1 cup or 2 is a problem. It's the overindulgence. And the lack of rest, just a lack of sleep, drives your immune system down. So when you get up and you have too much sugar, too much caffeine, you didn't sleep much, your immune system's in trouble, really big trouble. And the use of lots of antibiotics, antivirals, or fungals over your lifetime is a frightening thing. When we look at the top 20 foods that might help you, Aurochs scales are those things that actually help reduce the the oxidation levels of the cells that predispose you to cancer. So what we know prunes and raisins and blueberries, more you eat, more protection you get. We know if you eat kale, spinach, and just Brussels sprouts, those top 3 on each side, guess what you've done? You've decreased your predisposition to cancer for years to come if these are consistent on your diet. And as you see, there's lots of other options in here. Antioxidants of herbs, the things that you cook with, I highly recommend oregano, dillweed, and basil. Those are pretty much your top 5, and very healthy, and they make a difference on anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and anti-cancer risk. So why not put those into your diet on a natural basis? Some of the things we recommend on superfoods. The acai. It is a specific fruit that comes out of Brazil that is getting a lot of press because it has a highly nutritional value to it. Allium family, you've heard it before. Garlic, onions, and leeks. Barley, healthy, really healthy. Put it back in your diet. Green foods such as young barley, wheatgrass, chlorophyll, and spirulina. Buckwheat, can't say enough about it. In pure form, it's very healthy. Beans and lentils, very healthy. You know, just take the Beano, get it in your diet. It's worth it. Hot peppers has capsaicin, really healthy for you. We find that the more that people eat regular peppers, hot peppers, mostly in the Hispanic race or in the Mexican population, they seem to not have that much heart disease until they move to the States and not have as many hot peppers, interesting enough. Seeds and nuts, Sprouts, seedlings, sprouts of vegetables, grains, legumes, buckwheat, and soybeans. And lastly, yogurts and kefirs. Now there's lots and lots of things: carotenoids, lemonoids, flavonoids, flavonols, and indols. There are many of those things that are out there that make a difference in cancer. But in this short vignette, unfortunately, it's not as short as I'd like it to be. It is something that probably we can't cover. So you're going to have to pick up the cancer seminar itself, and you'll find that in detail these things will go through over and over and over until you find a way to help yourself. But understanding this information, understand you're in much more control than what you think you're in. You now have a choice of controlling your future by preventing the disease that will control you. So in summary, don't forget the emotional, spiritual stresses that lower your immunity, and have confidence and gratitude in the life that you've been given, good and bad as it may seem right now, and go for it. Many things influence cancer that you're in your control: environmental, reproductive, diet, smoking, caffeine, special risk, and low nutritional values. And genes do not cause the disease. And sleep more, laugh a lot, protect your immune system, eat superfoods, phytonutrients, herbs, and a healthy diet. Keep your liver clean. And cancer in the future, prevention is the only way to treat it. Just don't get it. We hope you've enjoyed today. Cancer. This is Dr. Benzinger on Health with secondopinion.org. We hope you tune us in, sign up for the free newsletter. We'll look for you next time. May God bless you.